Hello, people. I'm Sienna Vergis.
And I'm Jennifer Daniel. This podcast is where we bring our life experiences, we have conversations, and we shine a light upon everyday mysteries.
From mysteries of this world to the mysteries of ourselves, we talk about it all. So get your coffee, get your tea, sit back, and let's unleash our inner wisdom.
Welcome to Casually Wise. We are here today to talk about passion, purpose, and creativity. And this week, we have an established author with us. If you use Wattpad, you might have come across some of her work. She has published 12 books and has thousands of readers enjoy her work. The link to her books will be down below, so do check her out and follow her, and of course, us too for more interesting content. So welcome to our show, Subalakshmi, Akka WigglySubu. How are you doing?
Man, I feel famous already. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm feeling really good right now. Earlier I was quite, Christ University. But now I'm feeling very good and I'm doing great now. So thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. We are very happy to have you as well. So, yeah.
I'm already impressed by the whole amount of books you've written, but I do want to get into what did you guys want to become as a child?
Okay, so the basic question which we are always asked as a kid, what did you want to become when you grow up? So, who wants to go first? Subu, do you want to go first?
Nana, you go first.
Okay. So, when I was a kid, I think I always wanted to become a teacher, and whenever I had free time, I would like my old notebooks, like the previous years. If I'm in third, like my second standard notebooks, I would take a red pen and I would correct my own notebooks. And I used to be so obsessed. Like I used to sometimes take chalk from school and bring it home, and I used to write on my cupboards with chalk, and I used to teach my grandparents whatever I learned in school. Like I'm the teacher and they are the students.
You remember? You remember in church, Subo, we used to after church and after Sunday school, we would go outside and wait for our parents to come or something. And we would on the walls of the church, we would act imaginative teacher, like we have students coming behind us as assembly line where they're coming, and then we're like, oh, you guys sit here, boys sit this side, girls sit this side, okay, today we're going to learn this. Literally that's what we used to do as kids, teach.
Oh man, same here. Like bachpan mein it was all, teacher, office, all these games. But I didn't rob any chalks from my school, so I think I'm safe there.
The color chalks.
Oh yeah.
How can you not resist the color chalk? Okay, anyway. So what did you want to become when as a child?
I think it was always a writer. Like from as far as I can remember, it started with those Panchatantra and Tinkle stories, like it does for all of us. But I just got swayed away by stories a lot in my childhood. And then it continued, it persisted. And I remember in 6th grade, I used to write these nonsensical stories on these pieces of paper that I used to just tear from my rough book. And I used to just slap it on the desk of my English teacher. And I used to be like, read it, very insistent. And I remember all my friends were like, you'll become an author. And I was like a very, proud, cocky little kid at that age. So yeah, I think it started from there. I'm a proud, cocky little kid.
What about you, Sio?
Me, so I have changed my passions every year of my school, honestly. So now I'm kind of stuck with what I have, but it just keeps moving on, and that's what actually we're going to talk this in this episode, right? It's not just about one thing, it's about a lot of things. So the next thing that I want to ask is, Um, do you think you have found your passion yet or not?
I think I have found my passion. I think I'm one of the few people that I have seen actually, like you said, Siona, that your passion keeps on changing. And that is what I've seen with most people, and they have done really well in their lives as well. But for me, I have already found my passion, and I just stuck with it, and I really enjoyed the journey of, pursuing this. So I already found it, and yeah, I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
But don't you think that sometimes people are really, they just want to find their passion in life. Like that's the only thing. So they might just stick on to one thing. So suppose like I like music, okay, and I say music is my only passion in life. I won't try other things. So that will reduce my possibilities, right? Of how I might grow, or what new things I can learn in my life. Don't you think that?
So, in a way, that is true that you might restrict yourself saying that, I am good at only this and not at other things. But times are changing. For example, like now that writing is my passion, there are different forms of writing. So, I can explore that as well in the broader domain. Same goes with music as well. So, there is so much to do within a particular domain as well. But what you are saying to a certain extent is quite true, because you make this your identity, and at a point when you are not doing that well at that particular passion of yours, you feel quite low, defeated. You feel that you are nothing when that point of your life comes, and it can get quite depressing at that stage. But I think having that one thing, on the other hand, is also quite an advantage, because you are good at something, and you can pursue this to the best of your abilities and get good at it. And that gives you some sort of confidence as well in life. So it's like, two sides of the same coin kind of a thing.
I have something to say on that actually. Is ki what you just said, people being very adamant about having like one thing that defines them, and if they feel like they are not doing well in it, then they think they're done. There's nothing more left for them. So that's where like I want to add this quote that I find of Oscar Wilde, which is like so apt, I feel. Is he says that if you know what you want to be, then you inevitably become it. That is your punishment. But if you never know, then you can be anything. There is a truth to that. We are not nouns, we are verbs. I am not a thing, an actor, a writer. I am a person who does things. I write, I act, and I never know what I'm going to do next. I think you can be imprisoned if you think of yourself as a noun. This is a quote that I've come across like 2 years ago something, and it has like always stuck to me, because it keeps reminding me that I am not just one thing. I'm a person who can explore a lot more things, because you have the potential. If you want, you have it inside you. It's just right now you're just focusing your energy into something else, and not to some other thing, right? Like for you it's about writing, so like you're focusing all your attention, your focus, your passion towards that, and it's working out really well for you. So like there's no issue in that, of course. But like I feel like some people, they cannot decide, and that might give them an identity crisis. Like, oh, half of my friends are like musicians, half of my friends are like into acting, or like they might have this thinking, in what category do I fit in? So like what will they do? That identity crisis that can happen literally anytime, in childhood, as teenagers, or in way ahead in adulthood. What will they do? So it's just like you need to be open-minded. I feel you need to be open-minded about it and just try out things. It's okay if something doesn't work out. If you want to go try swimming but you're not good at it, it's fine, go for something else. It's no problem. But yeah, that's something that stuck. And this brings me to this wala philosophy of non-duality. That is like, do you guys know what it is?
Please explain.
Yeah, it sounds so fancy at this point. Like you need to tell us what it is.
Okay, I'll say. So non-duality is basically is ki there's only one pure consciousness, and we all kind of illuminate different multiple dimensions of it. Like, you know, there's not just like Siona is not just Siona. What is Siona? There's a lot of factors that define Siona. I'm not Siona because of my hair or my face or my hands or like or what I eat or drink or something, right? It's everything, the culmination of everything that makes me me. So I feel like you cannot be a one particular thing, like Oscar Wilde ka quote. You cannot be like one particular thing. That's where I feel like both of these things come kind of, you know, similar. Is ki there is this non-duality that exists, and people think ki, you know, they are one identity, but they are not. They are a culmination of a lot of other things, and then that becomes their identity. So if you don't know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, then you can't really get a good picture of your identity, I feel like. So what do you guys think about that?
So I completely agree with you actually. The one part of the quote that particularly strikes to me and what you have said is that, you know, I am a person who does things rather than, you know, I am this already well established, you know. So because, you know, as I said, when you are at that low point where you are questioning your identity, you forget to take other things into consideration as well, which is very difficult in this capitalist society where there is, you know, it has become a universal definition of success. Or, you know, the reason why, you know, I am even qualified to call myself a writer is because I have written 12 books and because they have these many reads. It is not because I'm just writing in my diary, right? And this is what has been wrong with the definition of, you know, I am a writer these days. That, you know, you can call yourself a particular thing only if you have certain sort of credibility, and credibility in the sense of the capitalist sense, which is what, you know, can lead to crisis in a lot of us. I think the one thing that we all doubt is because on this basis of definition of success. I mean, we all have multiple talents. We all are afraid to explore it. We are all afraid to imbibe that into our identity, into various sorts of identities that we have because of this definition as well. So, you know, I am a person who does things makes a lot more sense than saying, you know, I am a writer or I am this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really like love the way you explained it, that it's the capitalist society which is labeling someone as a writer just because you've gotten the validation of the audience. But then you are a writer. If you write, you're a writer. If you dance, you're a dancer. I mean, just do what you love. And people actually keep, you know, going, looking for their passion for their whole life, just goes into looking for their passion. What is one thing? What is my passion? What is my passion? But in reality, like, when you do things, you find your passion, you know, like, it's not, passion is not just about that one profession which you have. It's the you know, the commitment or the attention you put into doing your work, that can also be a passion. So, I mean, also I saw a TED talk which said that you don't have to look for your passion. Your passion will find you. You don't have to find your passion. So when you are doing things, when you are exploring, like you said, the different aspects of your personality or your, like, different dimensions of your consciousness, you automatically you might find passion in dancing, but I might find passion in making cards for my friend's birthday. Or I might find passion in, like, cleaning up.
Monica.
Yeah. So passion can be found anywhere. And, like, it's upon you. Like, you can choose it. You can take that direction for your career. And if you do, I mean, it'll be easier for you to do your career if you do it in something you like. But then it doesn't have to be like, I need to find my passion. Your passion is everywhere. And that also brings me to this quote. Just give me a minute. So, passion, this is a quote. Just thinking about how our meaning or purpose in life is merely to experience, such as eating an orange segment, hoping for snow, being in love, returning over and over to one painting, stepping outside for the full moon, having a favorite color, knowing beauty, feeling alone, feeling connected, feeling longing. It is enough. So that's what we are saying. Like, passion is in everything you do, like the smallest of things, how you live your life. I think that is also passion. What do you think about it?
I totally agree to that, because, like, like you said, no, passion is what you do in life. So passion, like, as human beings, we have the privilege, I feel like, that we can express, we can live. Like, existence is a topic or a subject that gets into a head. No, oh, we exist. So just existing, just making a cup of tea for yourself, if you're passionate about making that cup of tea for yourself, that itself shows that you're living, I feel like. So simple, when you talk about passion about simple things in life, it's about these things. Now, like, we're sitting over here talking about this topic, it in itself shows that we have some kind of passion towards this, like some kind of passion towards these subjects, these topics that we are sitting here and talking. नहीं तो we wouldn't have, no, we would have slept आराम से. But no, we are here today. And that's the thing. So it's also not about, just like you said, careers. It's also about people. It's about strangers, like, just that small moment of communication or connection with a thing, object, a person, or something that sparks, like, then this gives you an inner tingling of something. I don't know how to express that, this thing, that sensation, but it's just like you feel something inside, say, which gives you that jhatka ki, look, oh yeah, I want to do this, like aisa. So what is it, what makes you feel that itself is passion, I feel like. Nahi to there's no meaning in doing anything, I feel like, because again, a lot of people would say life is meaningless, and life has no meaning, and life might not have meaning. We have to make meaning, because don't we want to live our life like every day? If we keep saying ki there's no meaning, then what are we doing over here, right? We have to, like, make something out of it, and we have been given the tools and the equipments we need, our brain, our heart, so much things have been given to us. If we don't use them, then, like, it's all a waste of time, I feel like. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents about it.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I completely agree with it as well.
Gives us a lot to think about, dude. Like, I mean, I feel sometimes people waste time just waiting around, but then you can just find it. Just get to work, and you'll find passion in the smallest of things, and you'll create that life you want, which you're looking for. Yeah.
And I think it's like, when you're searching for passion, everyone wants that one thing that they can call themselves by, that they can be known by. And that's okay. We all want to be known by something. But the thing is that we put this pressure of timeline on ourselves, that this is by when I have to define who I am. And this is what I think all of us are experiencing right now in our 20s at least. So I think it's and that's sort of bullshit, if I am allowed to curse here, but that's quite bullshit, because I have seen so many people, especially like older people, but like when you look at the trajectory of their lives, you will see that none of them really found their passion in their 20s. Everyone finds different passion at different stages of their lives. I've seen many people discovering in their 30s and 40s, and this is not just a romantic idea. This is like true. This is what is out there if we actually look beyond our 20s. And life is so vast. We think it's quite short, and that's why you put this pressure of timeline on our heads. But there is time to explore your passions, and so it's fine. Like, just take your time. It will come and it will change. Now I'm a writer. Tomorrow I might be something else. Tomorrow I would hate writing at one point. Who knows? Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also I just wanted to add to what you just said, ki time is subjective, like it's something human made. So it's like a timeline that we're putting it on ourselves. So like you said, there's time for everything if you make time for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much makes sense. Oh my god, I have no thoughts. thoughts. It's blank.
We are 10 or 20 minutes in.
Wait, I want to say something.
No pressure, no timeline on you. Take your time, Jennifer. Now she's like, oh fuck, 20 minutes chala gaya, I need to quickly tell. No timeline, nothing, aram se.
So like like Subo, you said you like writing, but you can write and you can also like teach, or you can also work in an IT company.
Yeah.
You don't have to define yourself as one, because your passion is always going to be with you.
Right.
You don't have to be a writer. You don't have to sell books to be a writer, like how we spoke about earlier. Yeah, so like the thing about nouns and verbs, I hope like we start seeing ourselves as verbs, like as verbs. Like I write, I sing, but then that's a part of my identity. That's not my only identity. And like if you restrict yourself to just one thing, then maybe you won't see what else, what more possibilities are there, So that's what I want to share, like, because even with our podcast, like we never knew that we never start a podcast, but we were open to it. Like we are like, okay, let's try this, and it turned out to be good. Like in some way, we are using our passion in this podcast. Like my passion, I want to be a teacher. Somehow I'm giving out knowledge through this. So I'm using my passion in some way in everything I do. Right. Like if I'm being a teacher, if I'm learning how to be a teacher, I mean, those lessons I'll use in my daily life also. How I interact with people, how I do my daily tasks, however I do anything, I will use my passion in that. So it's not just in that one act of what you're preparing, but in everything you do in your life, you will use your passion. So, I mean, Siona, do you want to add about this? Like, how do you think this, how are you using your past, passions in this podcast? Just for a short example.
Yes. So like for me, I feel like I'm a kind of a person who's like just if I'm into something, I'm very interested in something, I'll just go for it. No, full 100%. And that's how we even started the whole thing. And dheere dheere, it's just like whatever we are like doing over here, like for that half an hour, what we're doing, somehow during that day or during that week, I'm using it in other thing or something, and I'm like, where did this confidence come from, or where did this even thought come from? Like I never have read it anywhere else. And there are things that we read for a episode, or there are things that we go through for an episode or something, which we would have never gone through if it's not for this. And that just gives me this thinking, like, so I have this thing about thirst for knowledge. The more I get more thirstier for it, I guess. So like, when I listen to people, I kind of like want to know more about it. And I feel like that's one passion of mine, just listening, just to listen to more stories, because you never know what you learn from other people. Because when I meet people in real life also, I try to listen to their stories so that I can see ki yaar, isme what is there that I can use in my life, or what are the similarities in my life and their life, what's there. So there are things that you'll find in anywhere. So like when we talk about unique expression of your mind, so like that's like one topic I just want to add abhi, is ki how we all might be going through the same thing, or like same schooling or like whatever, but somehow turns out we all turn out differently. We read the same literature books, we read the same science books, but how come you are more interested in it and I'm not? Or vice versa. It's all like how we express ourselves differently. And where our passion lies is, I think, if you read between the lines, I think that's where we'll find it, I feel. So, yeah, I think that's what I would want to say. What about you, Subo?
Yeah, I think the idea that you brought in right now actually resonates with me a lot, because at this point in our lives when we see everyone graduating and doing like different sorts of things, everyone doubts themselves, what am I doing with my life? She's doing that, and they look at us and they are thinking, she's doing that, it's vice versa. It goes on. And we all doubt our paths. We are like, oh, we should have taken that, and all of that. But what you said is so true, because that's how, we all end up on different paths, and we all end up making meaning of life, because we all have different meanings of life. Somebody would think that, reading novels is an absolute waste of time, whereas here I am spending all my day writing one after the other, and I'm making meaning out of it, right? So it's unique to all of us, and this is what I think most of us, including myself, we forget, all of the time. So yeah, Zoom is running out of time, so we do have a timeline on our head now. So
yeah, beautifully expressed. Thank you for your sharing your thoughts. I mean, I really loved this episode. Like, it felt so relatable, especially like when you just hear every perspectives from people your age, and you're like, okay, I'm not alone, and okay, I don't have to push myself. Like, why haven't you found your passion? Why haven't you started working towards your passion yet? So it's like, yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, on the base, what she means is we are all fucked.
We will survive.
I would just want to add like one thing, like what you just said. I'm just going to highlight that. Ki knowing that people of your own age are going through this is just a kind of like this very subtle validation. Ki yaar, thank God, even that person is kind of struggling, because even I'm struggling. So we can just struggle together. Yeah. We will survive this, don't worry though. Yes. But like, as we are going short on time, I feel, just quickly, I guess, what are our takeaways? Like, what are your takeaways from this episode?
I would say, like, don't fret about finding your passion. Just live your life, enjoy, and take things as it comes. And eventually you will find something which, every day you will find something which you love doing. And that will show up in your life in some way. So I really feel that.
I think I would say that passion starts with curiosity. So if anything sparks your curiosity, just start with it and persist. Like, I started writing when I was 13, 14, and I just stuck with it. If I was 13 years old right now sitting here, I wouldn't be sitting here. Nobody would have called me for a podcast. So just saying that, just persist. Whatever it is that you're doing, do it on the side. You don't have to make it big immediately. And if you're truly passionate about something, I don't think you will care about making it big, You'll just do it because you love doing it. And I think that's the true, pure definition of passion, without even being, romantic about it. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Wow. Yes. I totally, oh my God. You just said whatever was in my head right now. But I'll just add one more thing. It's all about being open-minded and just trying new things. Just be open-minded about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, totally agree. So that brings us to the end of this amazing episode on passion and creativity and purpose of your life. We really hope you enjoyed it and you had some takeaway from it. And let us know in the comments below what you felt about this, anything you want to share. And we will love to meet you again in the next one. And
make me famous, guys.
Oh, yes. And thank you, Subo. Thank you, Subo, for interrupting me so that I can thank you for coming over here today and having this lovely conversation with us, because honestly, I would have I loved it. I loved talking to you about this. I didn't thought in starting of the episode कि ये ऐसे जाने वाला है. But we delve in a lot of other topics than written on my screen right now, and I fucking loved it. So thank you for bringing all these topics today. And yeah, I can't wait to have another episode with you, and we can't wait to meet all of you guys again until the next episode. So thank you. Until then, this is Miss Yona.
And this is me, Jennifer.
And remember, keep it cash
and be wise.